Hello and welcome to the LHC Framework series. My name is Ethan James and I'm the Senior Client Support Manager for the South East of England. For those of you who haven't tuned in before, we at LHC are running weekly webinars where each member of the team will be presenting a snapshot of each of our frameworks. Last week, Jennifer Castle talked about the off-site construction of new homes framework. Today, I will be introducing our modular buildings framework. This presentation will last about 10 to 15 minutes, provide you with high-level information on the structure of the framework, but for further details, please feel free to contact our client support staff, whose contact details will be shared towards the end of the presentation. Today, we are going to be continuing our discussion on modern methods of construction by discussing LHC's modular building framework. As the name suggests, this agreement has been constructed to allow for factory-built modular buildings to be manufactured and installed onto development projects. What separates this from the presentation Jennifer held last week is that this framework agreement is suited for purely non-housing building types. Accessing this framework allows clients to benefit from many things the MMC has to offer, including speed, cost certainty, and quality control. The framework is currently live, which has been running since 2017 and where it expires in April 2021. This is an exciting time as we'll be engaging with the market shortly to receive feedback on how the new framework should be structured. We value your opinion and welcome all feedback from clients, manufacturers and contractors. So if you'd like to be involved, please contact one of the members of the team. To clarify on this framework, projects can be registered up until the expiry date and contracts are able to run past this date. If you would like further information on MMT, we have created a dedicated website which can be accessed via the link below. On this website, you will find helpful resources, including framework brochures, various industrial reports such as the Farmer Review, Modernise or Die. In terms of user eligibility, the framework is accessible to any public funded organisation across the UK, including any subsidiaries that are wholly owned by the organisation. Typically, organisations that access this framework are local authorities, health authorities, schools, universities and blue light services. The list shown on the screen isn't a definitive list, so if you're unsure, please feel free to ask. Next, I'll be discussing the structure of the framework. All of the companies on the framework can provide a full turnkey solution to design, manufacture, supply and install a modular solution. You can be fully assured that the appointed companies are competent at all stages, as we stress this at the framework evaluation stage with a 75% quality versus 25% price weighting. This included measures such as factory visits, and we also asked for evidence-based technical written answers for pre-construction and construction phase management, as well as health and safety practices. The framework allows you to procure factory-built modular units that can be purchased for permanent structures, which are buildings that have a planned service life for longer than 2 years, and also a higher temporary units, which are buildings with the planned time of use for up to 2 years or less. Both categories allow for portable modules, which can be relocated on the same or different site. It is a requirement that the companies provide low rise and up to medium high rise, which is up to 6 stories in height. Structural frames are made from light steel, however timber and concrete can also be sourced. All buildings and materials comply to the latest British standard building standards and the current editions of the technical standards for England and Wales. This includes structure Part A, fire Part B, acoustic Part E, and conservation of fuel and power in Part L. Systems are required to include thermal insulation in walls, roofs and floors to enable the buildings to achieve their required efficiency regulations. The framework is structured into 3 work streams and is suitable for permanent modular buildings for purchase or rent. Workstream 1 has 2 subcategorised specialist measures, which are education buildings and healthcare buildings. The education buildings workstreams include nurseries, primary and secondary schools. Further education buildings such as universities are also included. We have also allowed for general office spaces within this lot, as the performance of specification is very similar to that of education buildings. Within the healthcare buildings workstream, this should be used for buildings such as surgical units and high dependency unit wards. The second workstream covers all permanent buildings, which covers anything that is non-housing. Therefore, companies can deliver a solution for education, healthcare, emergency services, and any other community building. The final workstream allows for temporary buildings for hire. However, the building type can range to any of those I have previously mentioned. This workstream is available for short or long-term programs. During this unprecedented times of COVID-19, we have received inquiries from healthcare authorities who require temporary buildings to help with extra bed spaces or testing areas. After reaching out to manufacturers, the companies on our framework are offering a robust and safe solution which can be built and deployed to help with this crisis. At all stages of this project, from manufacture to installation, the companies work within government guidelines ensuring safe social distancing to restrict the spread of the virus at all times. Accessing this workstream can be used to help speed up the procurement process, so please contact one of our team if you'd like to understand how we can help you. These are the contractors that are on the framework who can provide a full turnkey solution. They are split up across the work streams, which I can give more information about on point of contact. There are two call-off options through the LHC framework. Firstly, there's mini competition. Mini competition is when you invite all capable contractors to partake in the tender process. We would run an expression of interest for you at this point to establish those who are interested. Secondly, there is a direct award option. Direct award procedure is usually allowed for the highest ranked company on that framework, whether it be price, quality, or a combined value for money. Of course, the weightings can be adjusted to your own preference. We will be able to take that through with you when you come to that position. In terms of direct award, there is also an option to make that direct award to a company if you have a justifiable reason. However, again, please speak to us if you have a query about this. On your screen, you will see a simple flowchart of how to access the LHC framework from its starting point through to its completion. You will start by registering a project by completing a form which summarises your procurement and project requirements. We would then assign you a unique project number, which is important as it provides an auditable trail to the framework. Depending on whether it's a mini competition or direct award, we would run an expression of interest with our appointed companies within your chosen lot. We would allow 5 days to run this procedure, and at the end of it, we would provide you with the results. From there, you are free to issue your tender documentation by your own chosen platform directly to those companies. Once they have sent their final submissions to you, you would then evaluate them. We would be able to help you at this stage by conducting a price verification from leading company and validating that their prices are compliant against their framework agreed maximum rates. Should you be happy with this, you would then make the award using your own contract of choice. Once the project is closed to starting on site, our dedicated technical support manager, Timothy Lee Davis, will be able to help monitor the performance of the appointed company throughout the life cycle of the project. He can attend site visits and project review meetings to ensure KPIs are met. Next, we will look at our frameworks in action, where I will outline some of the advantages of accessing an LHC framework. We can assure you that the quick project start negate the need to go through a long overdue framework process. That can take anywhere between 9 to 12 months. As I've set out in the previous slides, you're able to enter a mini competition or direct award through leading companies a lot quicker than this, which is usually a 4-week submission for a mini competition process. You can also be assured that all of the companies on our frameworks are maintaining the highest quality of standards for their business performance management systems and are all in accordance with ISO 9001. As market leaders, we are able to support you by providing advice on latest design and regulatory guidance. We can also pull in the appointed companies to help with this. Service level guarantee. Through the LHC FAC1, all companies on our framework are required to maintain a minimum service level agreement during their appointment through the framework and any projects that are appointed to. Ultimately, a particular client dictates what their service is required, but you can fall back on ours if they are not performing to your standard. Companies appointed to our framework have gone through a competitive procedure to be on the framework. These prices can then be more competitive at an individual call-off stage as they are further reduced. You can be assured that a company will never exceed a ceiling rate they supply to us through the framework agreement rates. In terms of what LHC can offer, we can offer knowledge and experience of procurement. We have a wealth of knowledge and experience behind us at the LHC, which is with a centralised internal team who set up and manage all of our framework agreements. Each one has a specialism in construction, sitting on various standard boards, and are therefore fully aware of any new standards or practices in the field. You are able to use them as a resource when it comes to tender for guidance on tender documentation, including specifications and pricing documents. Ongoing project support, as mentioned earlier, is important to LHC and our commitment to better buildings and homes. We recognise that it is important that not just procurement stage, but also throughout the entire life cycle of the project. Therefore, we have dedicated support staff who is able to work closely with you from the start of the procurement to the end of the project. Financial gains can also be made through tendering our frameworks as well as through our membership scheme. As a not-for-profit organisation, we provide our members with an annual rebate based on their spend through our frameworks within a financial year. There are two levels of membership. Firstly, there's constituent, and secondly, associate membership. Both have their own unique terms and conditions. As an even further commitment to enhancing the local community, LHC work closely with our client to channel the rebate into local benefit funds, whether to charities or socially orientated businesses. Last year, we worked with a number of companies to help disadvantaged youth, as well as helping local community food poverty needs. To keep up to date with these, please follow our social media channels. That brings us to the end of this week's webinar series. I hope this introduction to our modular building framework has been useful. We'd love to answer your questions, so I encourage you to get in contact with myself or your regional contact. Jennifer is the regional manager for London and the South East of England. I work in the South East, where we have just also appointed Ian Davis, who will also be working in the area. As you can see, his mobile number and face isn't on the screen just yet, but hopefully we'll have that on shortly as he has only just arrived. Bobby handles in the London area, while Tim supports both regions as our technical support manager. Thank you all and stay safe.